What's up, YouTube? My name is Matthew, aka Not Matt, and welcome back or welcome to the channel if you're new. And today we're really just going to be talking about manufacturers and how to find the perfect manufacturer for you. Just know when finding a manufacturer, not everybody wants the same needs. So we're going to go through a 10 essential step process to see which manufacturer is best for you. And this video is really for anybody who is either starting a clothing brand or is trying to look to scale their clothing brand. So let's get straight into the video. Let's go. But before we find a manufacturer, we need to talk about 10 things you need to know before going and looking for these manufacturers. Before even finding a manufacturer or thinking about texting one, you need to understand your needs. The first step is really to define your product as much as possible. That has to do with the materials, the design, and the type of niche you're going for. When you define your product as much as possible, that allows you to find a manufacturer that specifies in that type of clothing, and which allows you to create a more unique piece that your customers will ultimately love more. One major thing brands do not take into account is the industry standards. This has to do with the little things like quality, safety, and legal compliances. This really affects a brand negatively because they don't know what's going on in these other countries like China and Pakistan. With the fabric quality, with the safety regulations and the legal fees and their laws, people are not looking into that. And more importantly, I cannot stress this enough, make sure you look at China's and Pakistan's holidays, because most of the time these are big manufacturing hubs. So they are going to be doing a lot of holidays. I'm not talking about 2 days, 1 day, 3 days off. They're taking like 1 to 2 weeks off from no work. So y'all need to make sure y'all take that into account. And there's been numerous times where I've seen big brands mess up because they did not realize they're on holiday breaks. One of the biggest things I struggle with creating my clothing brand would definitely be the budget. You have to plan for everything. When I mean everything, I'm talking about the unexpected fees. I'm talking about the shipping. I'm talking about the actual price of the shirt. For example, if they tell you the price of each shirt is $22, you cannot just do 22 times 50. If you're buying 50 shirts, you have to plan for other things also. And plus, having a budget helps you really negotiate with the manufacturers. Next are mock-ups and tech packs. Mock-ups and tech packs is how the manufacturer will know what to make and how to make it specifically. You need to be as detailed as possible. Add the littlest details on there if possible. Add what type of printing you want, what type of embroidery, what type of colors, if you want the hoodie washed, the type of fabric. The littlest details has to be on there because that is what they're going to follow exactly to the bone. If you don't have what you want on the mock-up or have something different and they create it and it's not to what your design is, it is your fault. You have to make it as detailed as possible. Nextly, create a timeline. This does not have to be exact dates on when you're getting your samples, when you're going to drop, but create an estimate based off different manufacturers, because it will take about 2 weeks in order to make a sample and about a week to ship. So if you're planning on buying a sample on the first Monday of a month, plan to get it by the last Monday of the month. Just be ready to plan and be able to plan ahead and try to estimate when you want your first drop or when you want to receive your first bulk or when you want to do photo shoots. Because again, you have to network with people and notify them before these events happen. And the most important step before finding a manufacturer, do your research. Research the littlest things, look at their reviews for the past 5 years, look at their quality, and look at different types of things in their stores, because every manufacturer will have a store. And then when you're texting different manufacturers, ask to see what like different products they worked on in the past. Look at their products that they worked on, because again, they probably, especially China and Pakistan, they probably made thousands of hoodies and they will probably have one similar to yours. So you want to ask them if they can look at some of the pieces that is somewhat similar to see if you like the quality. One of the more important things that I'm doing right now is building a relationship with my manufacturer. Building relationships with manufacturers is really crucial, especially if you want to get discounted on certain things. Like samples, when you have a good connection with them, they will send you free samples. They will send you more than what you ask. They will give you discounts on many things like bulk orders. And especially if you have a great connection with the manufacturer, they'll make sure all your samples or all your bulk is like has really good quality, and they will make sure it is really top tier quality. Next, when you have 2 to 3 manufacturers, you need to look at samples. Make sure you do not only get a sample from 1 or 2, make sure you get from 3 to 5 different manufacturers. This allows you to see which each of them do good, bad, or what they need to work on in total. And especially when you're getting your sample, look for the littlest detail with stitching or zippers or whatever. Because with this, you're going to look at the sample and tell them what they need to work on or change. And make sure you tell them in elite detail, because once they do that bulk, they're going to give you that bulk no matter what. They're not going to change it a little bit. They're not going to adjust it or nothing. Make sure you communicate with your manufacturer. If you buy a sample or a bulk, don't just wait until they text you. Make sure you give them, like me, I text them every 3 days to make sure everything's going well. Make sure the printing's going well. Make sure the sample is still in production. And I want to know what's happening because, again, you pay for this and this is your money. So make sure you check up and communicate with your manufacturer, which can also lead to building a healthy relationship with your manufacturers. When it's time to actually place your bulk order, make sure you can negotiate. With this, you need to know what do you want exactly. The shipping times, the flexible prices, and especially with flexible prices, make sure you do not tell them your budget up front. If your budget is $5,000, make sure you tell them $4,000 so then you can meet in the middle somewhere around $4,500 and $4,700. Because again, there's other things you have to buy instead of just the clothes and shipping. You have to buy labels, a label printer, and so many more things like bags. So make sure you can negotiate different prices that's comfortable for your budget. And when they place this bulk order, make sure you do checkups. Make sure you ask for pictures. Like for me, when I placed my bulk order, the first thing I did was as soon as they finished the first hoodie and first beanie, I asked them to send me a picture and with them having it on so I can exactly see what it looks like and see if there's anything I need to change last minute so the rest of them can come out fine. And make sure you text them constantly to make sure, because they're not going to text you. They're trying to manufacture products for about 1,000 other companies. So your company is not on their mind. So you have to take it a part of your day to make sure you contact these manufacturers to make sure your products are okay and being manufactured correctly. And most importantly, be grateful to your manufacturer, especially when you get your bulk order and they did an excellent, phenomenal job. Make sure to let them know, because again, being and praising them and giving them compliments will build relationship with your manufacturer, and that's the best thing that can turn around for you late game or later on in life with your clothing brand. And there you go. Those are my most essential tips on finding and working with a manufacturer on apps like Alibaba. And just remember, prepare and communicate effectively with your manufacturer, because those are the differences between a profiting clothing brand and also a failing one. If you found this video helpful in any way, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment them down below and I'll respond. Thank you for watching, and let's go.